This game is rated M for mature. Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Bayonetta. In the last episode, we started making our way up the Ithavoll Building. And in this episode, we're going to keep doing just that, including using some unorthodox methods, like running up elevator shafts, which is definitely a very safe activity to do. So if you run through the middle of those two, you don't have to do any dodging, but okay, so we do have a new Seikui that we haven't seen before, so this is Justice. Pretty much just like one part of that fight, in terms of you just need to damage the child pinnacle until you get it low enough, and then we're going to run up to finish it off. So that actually went pretty smoothly. It's not always that nice. Of course, this part will lag a lot, as it tends to do. Right, and that will destroy that. We are free to move on. So, there's nothing left to do here other than to jump down this hole, which will return gravity back to normal. So, in this area here, the music is now different. We're in the upper floors. Also pretty good. I mean, not quite as good as the lower floor theme, in my opinion, but still pretty good. So, there's a chest here, back in this corner, that has a broken witch heart in it. So basically just kind of come around here, take a hard right, and it's at the end there. So, if we jump up on these platforms, we can get up to the upper level here. And so, if I jump down this hole, there is going to be... Oh, hey. There's a crow there. I suppose I could run away and try to see if I can get it. So, we have some flaming affinities in here, so not too much. May as well use up some of these torture attacks, I guess. Like, I would like to grab this. Use that attack, would be quite effective. So, that's all there is to that verse. Hey! Okay, so, in the same area with these flaming affinities is another chest that has a red hotshot in it. So that actually brings the grand total of those number of chests up to 3, I think. Okay, so let's see. That crow should be back. There you go. There's that. And then we can jump up these platforms to get back out. And so on the other side of this kind of gap here is a note. This is the Ithavoll CEO, Part 1. The Ithavoll Group holds complete control over Vigrid, planning the city and arming it to the teeth, all while using rhetorical flourishes to conceal the conglomerate's many dark facets. The company's vast political and economic power has created an island held by the symbol of modernity, Isla del Sol, and placed its headquarters at the symbol's very center. At the conglomerate's top stands a man said to be a descendant of the long-departed Lumen, a man who has earned the adoration of the people, Baldur. Baldur is, as they say, a mystery wrapped in an enigma. If he is truly one of the descendants of the Lumen, that would mean that the blood in his veins has been pumping since their extermination some 500 years ago. However, even if you look back through decades of Vigrid's records, there is no knowledge of anyone with a Lumen lineage. Furthermore, if you search for information on his hometown, schooling, work history, or family, you will find that it has all been forged. There is no record of his life before Ithavoll, nor are there any stories of impeachable veracity. It seems like he has been hiding the details of his life ever since his birth. I have already chronicled the unprecedented military expansion and turbulent movements related to the next generation energy research taking place in Vigrid. However, a man who has for years, or even decades, hidden the facts of his life is now at the very pinnacle of power of a conglomerate with literally earth-shaking might. The question begs to be asked, what is this man capable of? So that is it for all the secrets or collectibles in this area. So the area that we actually need to go over to progress is over here. Oop, overshot that a little bit. So we're going to do some more pole dancing here. Now this section coming up highlights one of the reasons that I really do not like the gravity mechanics in this game. So you can see we have all these platforms, and they will disappear periodically, the small ones at least. So the large ones do not, so they're fine. But your gravity is basically always down compared to whatever platform you're standing on. So you can see this room is, a giant cylinder that you have to kind of climb up. Going up isn't really too much of a problem. It's actually kind of going around the sides that can be annoying. Because if you're trying to use the Panther Within or just jumping across normally, then you can see what kind of happens there. And I think I might be screwed unless I head back. Yep, I'm still screwed anyways. Ah, wonderful. So, yeah, that's what happens. So in order to actually get across safely, you do kind of have to use the platforms, which can be a bit tricky. So I'm trying to remember. So we're in the middle of verse 12 right now. We started it. Nope, don't go away just yet. Okay, I should be able to get over to it. So we started it. Oh, there we go. Okay. By having some of the affinities pop up on that other platform, but you have to kill all of them to actually finish the verse. If you move on without finishing it, you won't get credit for it. So you just have to head over to this side in order to do that. So now we can move up to the second ring of big platforms here. And so there's a platform in the middle right there that has both a chest and a note. Yep, well, I'm going to have to climb up again since I botched that jump. Now you can probably see why I don't really like this area all that much. Now that isn't really that hard of a jump, but let's see, where do I need to go? I think over that way. So actually, you know what? Since it's probably going to take me a little while to get back up there, I will just meet you once I actually get back up to that area. Okay, well that didn't take quite as long as I thought. So let's try this again. You can jump on the platforms, or if you just want to do that kind of jump, you can do that as well. So there's a chest on this platform, has a broken witch heart in it, and then there's also a note here. So this is the Ithavoll CEO, Part 2. There remains one thing that worries me about Balder. There are rumors that he has been partaking in the game of the Lumen Sage, in other words, feverishly hunting out any remaining Umbra witches, in order to facilitate his next-generation energy research. It is hard to believe that a member of that clan, thought to have crumbled away 500 years ago, still remains unbeknownst to the world at large. However, when considering that they are purported to have wielded massive power as overseers of the world, the word that this self-styled sage Balder is actively seeking a witch forces one to have major qualms. And of course, while the sound of research into next generation energy is incredibly attractive, the marvelous ascent of Balder, as well as his startup company and his control of an arsenal of armament and fortifications, has all been conducted under a cover of total media control. Could one honestly say that this secrecy would be needed for something that has peaceful uses? Another troubling sign is the ease of which one can acquire information regarding the Ithavoll conglomerate as of late. It may just be my journalistic sense, but I feel that there is a possibility that Balder is intentionally leaking information. If we make that assumption, that leaves me with no other way out. Ever since I began covering Vigrid's transformation and the dark shadow behind the Ithavoll group, I have been on an inescapable crash course with the truth. Even if it was a trap, and I must overcome that trap to get to the truth, I am hell-bent on doing so. Once you have collected all of the other notes in the game, so you can see all of them here, you will unlock one last note. To my beloved son. If you find this page undestroyed and in the hands of another, that means something has happened to me. I wrote these notes in case that very if should come to pass. However, it still makes me wonder how far I will have gotten on my journey. Maybe I've been able to grasp some of the truth from the darkness of confusion. Maybe I've been able to give my son the understanding of what it means to truly believe. To the son I love more than anything in this world, if you are the one to read this, forgive me for throwing myself into work and thinking little of our family. I am a foolish man, much too attached to my beliefs and entirely unable to change. I'm sure that this has caused you immeasurable trauma. Now you set off on your own journey down this long, hard road we call life. However, as a father, I have nothing I can teach you and even less I can leave you. Hopefully, you will remember the short time I spent with you as a token of my love. I pray that it will become for you a roadmap to a life of substance. So, Antonio Redgrave, and as confirmed by that note right there, is indeed Luca's father, although we did kind of know that. And I fell down again. Woohoo! Okay, well, guess who gets to climb up again? I'll meet you once I get back up again. Okay, so now that I'm back up here, there's also another chest sitting on this one. This has a broken moon pearl in it. So that is indeed the last one. We were missing one from our meter. I thought that we had it completely filled, but now we do. So those are all the secrets that you need to find in this area. So now I'm going to fall down again. I am 4 for 4 on that. My time is going to be pretty awful on this. Okay. It doesn't actually take that long to get back up, but it is somewhat of a nuisance. So once you are ready to move on, head over to this area with these 2 doors. Once you get close enough to them, it will trigger this fight. With the golem, and he has some new tricks here, so there are still the normal attacks that you would expect it to have. So it still has the dragon one and the bird one, and both of the hands as well, but I don't think I actually saw this particular one, which is kind of like some sort of blizzard the last time I fought it, so ooh, I don't think it hit me there, actually. That one was a close one. Yep, there we go. Had to go and open my mouth. Oh, and there's the other one that it can do, so. Ah, dang it. I was doing so well. Ah, see, I'm trapped again. Okay, well, that started out better than it ended, but it wasn't too bad, so this is the same as it was before. I'm gonna play some volleyball. And then miss. Okay, so, got silver on that. So, we have another elevator shaft on our hands. Oop. Had a little bit of glitchiness there. But of course, we're not just gonna climb it with ease. So, we have our first and only encounter with Prudence. There we go. Oh, dang it, I didn't get it that time. So, it basically only has two kinds of attacks that it can do, which are, trying to eat you with its mouth. There's also those two attacks. You get witch time off of everything, so basically the elevator shaft behind you is kind of being destroyed. So you do have to kind of keep pushing it back at regular intervals, so if you aren't doing enough damage to it, then you can die from that, I believe. I don't know if it's ever happened to me, but all in all, not too difficult of a fight. Once it falls on the spikes down there, it's going to be kind of a raging firestorm after you, and this will always catch up with you as long as you're within Panther. As long as you're in Panther Within, you shouldn't die from it, but it's always way too close for comfort. So, took a little bit of damage, but otherwise that was pretty good. So, in order to go up here, we need to get rid of these 4 connections. Don't ask me how this works. It's magic. But, at long last, we are finally at the end of the chapter. So, I'm actually kind of impressed that I was able to do this chapter without healing. This is the first time I think I've ever been able to do that. So, once you walk into this at the end, that will mark the end of the chapter. So let's see how we did. So I only had 1 silver, actually. I usually get a lot of gold medals on this. Actually got, I think, probably more pure platinums than I usually get. So I'm really happy with how that went. I don't think I've gotten a platinum on this stage before. I think the best that I've gotten is a gold. Okay, so let's see. Oop. See if we can't do well on this and make some money. That was pretty good. We didn't have a ton of bullets to start with, so we're in pretty good shape. So in the next chapter, we will be confronting Baldur. But for now, let's stop by the gates of hell and see if there isn't anything that we can get.
You want to touch me?
You here for business or pleasure? Either way, I'll hook you up.
Okay. Oh man, we're just a little bit shy of getting the Durga ult. Suppose we could try picking up one of the accessories. I have enough for one of those. So let's see, this one. I don't think I've ever actually used that one before. So let's see. This one will basically take a hit for you, but I think is okay. Yeah, it depletes the magic gauge. This one's interesting. It instantly triggers witch time, but of course I think it uses up magic as well. So this one I think I found some use out of. I don't really use the taunt feature on enemies all that much, but if you have this equipped, you can actually restore health by doing that, and it doesn't count as using an item. So I'll pick that up. It won't really be of much use to us in the future, at least, you know, on this playthrough, but let's see. That's not very specific, but in any case, that will do it for this episode of Let's Play Bayonetta. I've been redxparasite, signing out.